I want to welcome you back to BLACKSITE Sports tonight. We're going to talk about college football week 1 review. First, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel. Hit that like button, hit that notification button, but also comment on this video. Week 1 in college football was very exciting, especially starting off Saturday morning with Colorado versus TCU, and Shador Stevenson throwing for 510 yards and leading Colorado to a 45-42 upset win against TCU. But that wasn't the finish. The Pac-12 had one of the best weekends ever in college football history. They went 13-0. Every team in the conference won a game. What is more exciting is the quarterbacks within the Pac-12. You have Caleb Williams, the former Heisman Trophy winner. You have Michael Penix, Bo Nix from Oregon, Cameron Rising from Utah, Shador Sanders from Colorado. It doesn't stop in that conference. Any of these players can win the Heisman Trophy, and we're going to see some tremendous games in the Pac-12 this year. You talking about some passing offenses and some arms. You talking about a conference that is basically with one of the best years in the history of their conference is dissolving next year with all this talent they have this year. Let me tell you something. This is going to be a great goodbye for the Pac-12 because of the players they have in that conference this year at the quarterback position and on the offensive side of the ball. But you still had your stalwarts who showed up. You still had Michigan. You had a weak Ohio State. I don't know how far this team is going to go with Kyle McCord. Maybe he'll improve over the season, but he has to play better. That excuse me. That Indiana team is awful. They can't pass the ball. They barely can run the ball. And I told you in my best bets to take Indiana in the plus 30. And we'll talk about that at the end of my show. My best bets, I went 3-0 this weekend. But you saw Michigan without their head coach, Jim Harbaugh, win 30-3. Or oh, by the way, win by Michigan. You saw Penn State with their future quarterback beat West Virginia 38-15. So you saw a lot of teams in football have a oh by the way win. A lot of teams will be gathering strength as the season goes on. And a good opening game was by Jalen Monroe of Alabama. They won 56-7 against Middle Tennessee State. And I haven't talked about Georgia because you know Georgia. You know Georgia is going to wipe out the SEC East and basically end up in the SEC championship game against either Tennessee, Alabama, or LSU, one of those three teams, and we'll see what happens there. But this week, it shows you the talent in the game. Wasn't many upsets, but you can see what's going to happen once they get into the conference races, the conference season. You're going to see some mega battles in quarterback positions, damn near like the NFL. Michael Penix versus Caleb Williams, Shador versus Cameron Rising. It's going to be something in that Pac-12. I knew the Pac-12 wish they had more time to get their act together, but they blew it. They truly blew it. And now you have a new team on the horizon, the Colorado Buffalo, who next week will play the Nebraska Cornhuskers, a team that blew another game. They blew it at the end. Once again, same, let me tell you something. Same girl, different dress. That's all it was for Nebraska. And Nebraska ended up finding a way to lose to Minnesota. That was disgusting. I think they might get blown out by Colorado because I don't think that Sims quarterback is that good at all. So we saw an exciting weekend, which was finished off by, to me, Florida State routing LSU. And that was kind of surprising for the simple fact is that LSU was winning 17-14 at halftime. And to watch Florida State come out in the second half and play one of their best second halves in the past decade or two and just blow out LSU was really embarrassing for Brian Kelly and the LSU Tigers. You thought they would do much better than that, but they didn't. So we see teams on a rise. We see Florida State on the rise. We see Colorado on the rise. We see Washington on the rise. We see teams trying to step into that position to where they will challenge the Georgia Bulldogs to win the national championships. And these teams have the quarterbacks. I want to thank you for listening to BLACKSITE Sports. I hope you subscribe to this channel. Smash that like button. Also share this video. I hope you leave a comment in the comment section.